Hello, everybody. I welcome back to Blizzard Buzz. We are your darling co-hosts, Ara, and my partner in crime, Caleb.
It's very good to have all of you on for our show. It's good to be coming out and actually posting this one. Our last one was a very, very prolonged sound check.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, this one's still going to be a bit of a trial run, but we're going to try and stay more SHL related this time,
Yeah, we
rather
cannot have the 15-minute long deviation into Fallout New Vegas. I don't think we're going to get paid for that.
than no. Although, from what I hear, some of our fans want us to post that one. So,
Very
we're
much
gonna,
so, but you're an HO, and we'd both get thrown in prison for that. Does
definitely.
does HO have a prison? I feel like they should.
I'm not at liberty to say. But if you'd like, I can arrange a tour of our publicly available timeout box.
Now, to keep things on topic, because I can feel the ADHD creeping in, and it will do that for the entirety of this show because we insist on recording late at night after my Ritalin has worn off. um, we would just like to go over a few basic things today. We want to talk about what it is that we want to do with the show, what we want to talk about, who we want to be inviting, talking, things like that. Of course, we covered our own introductions, but we can go a little more in depth, I think. Just let them know who it is they're going to be listening to or having on in the background.
Fair enough. Do you want to start, or should I?
You know what? I am your darling assistant, as is known by everyone who
Ah,
listened to our sound test. So
no.
that means that I think I can get away with forcing you to be the first one.
Well, I'm real shy around strangers. Plus, I'm promoting you to co-host, and or I should say, I'm offering you a brevet promotion to co-host. If you do well, we'll see if it sticks. So, Mike's on you, my friend.
Does that come with additional pay benefits?
Uh, well, this
It's
U.S.
just,
Well, actually,
it's
you're
just
a
like,
Canadian. You're a Canadian employee, so yes, you get them. I don't.
oh, slick. All right. I was going to say, wow, that's just like every promotion I've ever received. So, I'm Caliph. Also, my player's name is Matthias. We have talked about sometimes we'll do things in character. There are a few players that are very, very into the sort of individual story that they've got going on with their individual characters. Some of us are just users. Our characters are so disposable that we can have names like QCC bot. It's not a call out. I don't know who that
CMC
is. Yeah,
system.
I'm completely. I have no working relationship with Evoc in any sense of the term. Um, it's so hard not to swear.
You get used to it.
I will. So I played for, or I still play for the St. Louis Scarecrows, and I'm a prospect in the Edmonton Blizzard. The best team and the team that most deserves a blanket out of all of them. We're not mad about it. I swear we're not. I currently head up the. Wow, this is bad. I should know this. This is my job. I currently head up the J All Star Committee, and right now I'm working in the Historian Society or Historian Society. Wow, it really is late at night. I work for the historians, and I also do lots and lots of scouting. I know Ara, you're on that track as well. It's difficult, but it really is it's the best job. It teaches you the most. That's not an opinion, by the way. That is unquestionable fact. I did just apply to get in for the WJC because I insist on torturing myself. And I just got the bad news that Ara won't be able to co-GM with me again. So I'll be disaster crashing through the WJC with someone else.
Fair enough, but I'll be there to keep you on track. As Caliph so wonderfully pointed out, I'm Ara. Or pardon me. Sorry, it's been a long day, folks. Um, I'm Ara. I'm also known as the player Royce and Armagh. I play for the San Diego title currently and am a prospect for the Edmonton. Um, right now, I, as the user page on the forum says, I'm a certified workaholic, more insane than Caliph, in that I work for all three, well, three of the four HOs, WJC, SMJLH, or HL, and SHL. The latter, I work as an intern there. And then in addition to that, I also am a streamer and the presenter for the drafts and the award shows. And finally, to round things out, I'm also the head of as well. So quite a bit there.
Do you ever get tired? You know,
I would like to think that
it might be time
between
to pare down on some of those jobs. Hey, like the HO,
possibly,
leave them in the cold. They don't need you.
well, someone's got to keep them on track, but nah, most of the time it's stress relief, for as crazy as that sounds.
Who could imagine that? Being an overstressed student, that never happens to anyone.
Oh, don't forget also my day job too, which is no unending source of stress. Compared to that, the HOs are nothing.
It's true. I cannot wait to continue with my education, mostly because my day job and my education are going to be literally the same. So I'll be doing nothing but that one specific job for like 16 hours a day for 5 years.
That's been me for the past 5 years, but
Yeah.
you
All
get
right. All
used to
right.
it. Anyways,
We can't commiserate and vent on on the
yes,
podcast.
yeah.
This is for the SHL.
Yes. So getting us back on track, and don't worry, I'll make sure penalties applied when you join the WJC for the digression. Don't worry about that.
I
Joke.
expect nothing less.
Don't worry. I'll let you know when you break each and every rule. Anyway, getting back to with introductions aside, getting back to
It's gonna be the funniest appeals ever. Just appeal why Ara was mean to me. Frowny face.
I always have a reason for my meanness. Anyways, getting back on track to why we're doing the podcast. So this Joker here, a few weeks back, almost a month,
Oh
had
god,
the
it was before I
wonderful
broke my ribs, so yeah, it must have been.
had
Oh,
the wonderful idea to add to our plates by suggesting a podcast, and me being the crazy mother freaker I am, decide, hey, sounds fun. So we had to wait for him to recover a bit, but now we're able to transition away from our written media, which is under the same name, to doing Blizzard Buzz as it was always intended. And don't worry, we still intend on doing the Blizzard Buzz written pieces. We actually have one in the works right now with a very special guest. So look for that in the coming week or two.
do you think
Anyway,
if we invite them onto the podcast, we'd have to like boost the rating? Because there's no way that they can avoid swearing for the whole thing the way I can.
we probably would have to, but we can deal with that bridge when
Blizzard
we come
Buzz After Dark.
to it. Yeah. Blizzard Buzz.
There you go. We're just launching franchise after franchise. It's
Yep.
fantastic. We're like Disney, but like completely incompetent.
I'd like to say more competent at this stage. But anyways, I know I keep saying that, but anyways, the main goal of Blizzard Buzz is a mix of highlighting the weekly performance of the team, the star players of the Blizzard, and the occasional special topic that, be it Edmonton or SHL or completely off the wall, that strikes our fancy.
Yeah, we can have our juicy drama discussions. Everyone likes a little bit of that, right? It's okay. We won't break any rules. We literally have a 3-star cop as our co-host.
Oh, thank you. Don't worry. I'll make sure to keep it clean. And if he says something illegal, I'll toss him in the break.
Yes, the publicly accessible timeout chamber.
Ah,
Let me see. Now we had. Now, as for our written notes here, which we have, I believe it was 2 Discord DMs. Yes, sent about an hour ago. Podcast purpose, introducing ourselves. Did you want to go over some of this week's games? I'm sure that. Are you doing waivers for the San Diego titles at the moment?
I'm actually not involved in handling the waivers for San Diego right now.
Are you slacker?
I have mostly been catching up on the deep dives and handling a few upcoming things for the draft. So
Man, imagine actually doing your job as a oh gosh, wow, my as a department head. My wow, I we need to start recording these things earlier before the Ritalin just drops out completely.
don't
I will say that is one of the nicest things about us working in the All Star Week group, because it's so much easier. You do almost nothing during the season, and I can gleefully advertise this because I'm never giving this job up. It's never ever.
I don't blame you. It's the same thing with the deep dive said. Well, I obviously do work, but
It's all good. Gwen is never giving her job up.
I
She,
don't blame her.
well, of course. I mean, that one job earns her what your job and my jobs earn us put together.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
Well, that's why we're doing this. We're bored.
No, Ara. I am poor. You are going to hit 100 million before Cake does, and Cake is also insane.
Oh, that she does. Um,
It's not a rumor, by the way. I'm not starting negative rumors. That is a fact.
oh, it's just fact.
Yeah, it's
And I can say
100%
this.
a fact. Yeah,
I can say this having known her for almost 11 years at this point.
exactly. We have primary source evidence, and it has in fact just spoken. So,
Pretty much. In all seriousness, she's great at
well, of course. I mean, you wouldn't see her up for that many awards that often.
that. No.
Yeah.
And honestly, she would probably beg to disagree, but I do think she's Rookie of the Year contender right now, especially with the, I think, 70 points she's already scored this season.
Oh no, I seem to remember it was about 1 point lower than that. It was a very nice total, if I remember correctly. But I do need to check the.
So it's the total that can't be spoken of.
Yeah, that would get us in trouble, ostensibly. Copper, can you make a choice? I need you to make a call in here, and I need you to know that if we're wrong, both of us in the recording studio will in fact explode.
Don't worry, I've got the C4 prime, so if you screw up, it'll go off. Yeah.
Let me go into leaders right now, and yeah, in goals we have Alexa Johansson at 36. We do have Chris Valentine at 47, but Chris Valentine is the opposite of whatever a rookie is supposed to be. Yeah. That is a terrifying weapon that the Texas Renegades have to just run roughshod over the rest of the SHL.
God.
To be fair, you give her a few seasons, Alexa is going to become terrifying as well.
Oh, I have no doubt, especially with the growth she's displayed over the last couple of seasons. And that's saying nothing of her work with the St. Louis Scarecrows, too. From what I've seen, while they've struggled a bit, they're on their path or on the path to becoming an absolute terror on the ice, too.
Yeah, I think that honestly, that we really have been on quite a tear, and I do have to thank, of course, both of our GMs, the illustrious Cake, who we will continue to praise endlessly, and not only because we know it gets under her skin,
Yeah.
but also Jimmy. Uh, those two have been locking in, from what I can tell. That of course, Cake is just nailing it with her tactics. Jimmy's a lot more reserved. He doesn't like to talk exactly about what he's doing, but people who are veterans of the Nevada Battleborn know exactly how good his tactics can be. Of course, we had that fantastic upset that we will never stop talking about ever. It was the highlight of my rookie season.
Okay, to give us some details, if you don't mind.
Oh, that almost seems more like a historian podcast thing, but we are paid by the hour, so let's keep going.
We can indulge you. You did say that we can say whatever topic or whatever special topic strikes our fancy here.
That's true. I mean, this is still SHL discussion, so legally, we should be in the clear. And I have complete plausible deniability because I have Ara right here. So, if there's anyone that it should be whose responsibility it is to stop me, it should definitely be her. H-O.
Yeah, we'll allow it. You've been good tonight.
Yeah, am I still locked in for that promotion?
For right now. Don't push it.
I'm on the pace. All right. So, speaking of being on the pace, Ara, how's that fantasy hockey going?
Surprisingly, I'm apparently in second in my group.
Oh, fantastic!
Reason.
Get me in your group. I remember Egg and I tried so hard. We're like, oh my gosh, we're doing so well. And then he posts the results, and there's me in second last place and Egg in last place, exactly where we belong.
Let me see if I can find that, because it's just been wild for me because I filled out the thing for fantasy like 3 weeks ago and haven't really paid any attention to it. And Egg posts that. It's like, oh, you're in second place, almost in first. It's like, what?
The sim really does do what it wants to do sometimes,
Yes, it does.
Tell you what, while you search for that, I'll give the historic. I'll give the account. This was actually one of my deep dives in my rookie year.
All right, go ahead.
So we had Jimmy, evil Kyle Murray. He was our. I'm not sure if this was. I think Cake joined as co-GM the next season. So I really do think this was all Jimmy. If I'm wrong, then cry about it, Cake. This is not a well-sourced podcast. We just say things on here, and mistakes run rampant.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to quote Spider-Man 3. I'm going to get back on the topic. Now, we had two phenomenal teams that were going into this, and frankly, both of them were the Nevada Battleborn. St. Louis had a really rough year, not as bad as Alexa's rookie year and not as bad as Popel's rookie year. We were continuing to improve as we went along, but I don't think anyone would have looked at STL and called us any kind of competitor at the time. We basically had no defensive core. Our forward lines were passable, but it was we really had Jimmy, on the ropes there, trying to find some way of making us survive against Nevada's teams. It wasn't as brutal or as oppressive as what we were eventually staring down the barrel of with Maine in the very next round. Though to be fair, that was the year where Maine had what were they won very, very consistently in the awards that season. There were a team of 3 that were all new gens at the same time.
Oh,
I cannot remember. It's okay. You weren't even there. I can't be mean to you. I should remember though. I'm with the historians. But they were just this wall of a line that were so far ahead of anything that we had. We just had no prayer against them, and it was correct. We got swept like really hard. Those were not merciful games at all. However, we don't remember that because we remember the happy things. So, Nevada Battleborn versus St. Louis back in season 78 was a stunning upset. We had no business winning that series whatsoever, just based off of the points and the players that were available to each side. And honestly, even the people in the locker room. Don't get me wrong, we had a great locker room. We had Popel, we had Cake, we had Jimmy, we had some of the higher level people that moved on that I honestly I didn't get to know them that well in my rookie season, and we had Ozzie Bradford, and those were all fantastic members of our locker room. But against a team like the season 78 Battleborn, that didn't make nearly as much of a difference. You can't really grind in the SHL or in the Jays in the same way that you can in the SHL. No. That series was won almost entirely on tactics. It was based on line matching and all sorts of things. It was a real mess for Jimmy and I assume Cake to a large extent to have muddled through it the way that they did. But Jimmy stood on his head for multiple games in a row. We had spectacular performances from all of our forward lines. And honestly, the defense just kept us alive because that's all that we could do. Especially against the front line, against our teammate, Gwendolyn Tellen. That was terrifying to face her down at that point in her career because though she has become more intimidating, she is now on our side, thankfully. But she was still a centerman back then, and she was still just dumping assists to everyone on the ice like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, having seen snippets of it and read a bit about her past performance, I would not doubt it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I don't want to shorthand my description of the game, but I know that you're probably eager to talk about what you've just been looking for as well. So I'll speed through it a little
Oh
bit.
no! By all
Oh,
means.
you're right. Hang on. We can go nice and slow.
Nice and slow.
Yeah, we're gonna do like the what is it? Because we get graded whether or not people actually watch it. So we can use like one of those. We'll be like the sloth from Zootopia. We'll just
I've never actually seen that movie, so
it's it's a lot better as a kid. I rewatched it as an adult with some kids I was babysitting, and it's not as good of watch in my humble opinion.
that's fair.
That Rihanna song it's awful. It's really bad, especially compared to the Lego movie. And Zootopia got the nom, and the Lego movie didn't. And that just makes me feel a type of way that if I expressed any further, I would break the rules of the cordiality of this podcast, and then I wouldn't get my promotion. And I really need dental. So,
honesty.
The best way that I can put it, and honestly, I'll DM you the link if I can find it to that game, because that game, I'm sure you've watched plenty of games and Sims yourself. When the outcome, oh, excuse me, when the outcome is generally pretty well known, it's not disrespectful or anything to speed through the sim. It really just helps with time, and goodness knows that simmers already give enough of their time to the league. I seem to remember Hiff telling me it is by far the least efficient way of giving your time to the league. You give so much more of it, you get so less rewarded for it, and the pay is all right. I'm sure Gwen would agree with that PT job. You can really tell that I want on the PT committee, eh? Like, I'm not subtle about it in the slightest.
Oh, I don't blame you there. That's sort of similar with me in the grading department. Legitimately, my goal is to hopefully do for the grading department what I've done for the deep dive department, and that we can clear the backlog there. Like
Oh yeah.
just like just for y'all's reference, when I started in the deep dive department, we had something like 12 to 15 deep dives that had been sitting there for the better part of a month ungraded. And again, props to Captain Squall and the rest of the deep dive team for their hard work. But I cannot tell you how frustrating it was just to see all that sitting there. And it's like, I don't care if it's just working as a grader, but it felt amazing to clear that. And now to have that forum be almost empty and everything sitting in archives. My hope, as said, is that even if it's just as a grader or intern, can do something similar for the media grading team. Anyways, I know it's self-centered, but
Yeah, no, don't mind me. I'm just opening up my DSM-5 and looking at the traits of obsessive compulsive. You mentioned that you had a distinct pleasure, was it, when you saw that the forum was clear? Could you expand on that now?
not in that way, but
But
no.
just to go back to, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll finish real quick. Don't worry. So I know I spoke a little bit about how completely fine, completely understandable to speed through a sim. That game, that the entirety of it, the whole game, not a second of it was sped up because things were happening every single second in that game. And honestly, I don't often watch the full run of games. When I do check them out on stream, I tend to, I'll watch a little bit of them if it's interesting, if there's a good back and forth, and if the two teams are uniquely well suited to go against each other. But I'm mostly there for scores, results, and that's not really my field anyway. I'm a people person. I
I
go after
mean,
players.
I'll admit, for me on the sim side of things, it's sort of a similar deal. I do care about the stats and the team performances to a degree, but for the most part, I'm just there to check the scores as well as the team standings, especially heading into the drafts. That way, you can get a good idea of what each player is doing, how they performed, and so on. And obviously, my main focuses are on Edmonton, St. Louis, and San Diego. But
It is nice that we have a few more seasons as competitors until we're like out and out Edmonton bros. It is fun to compete, and I guess we can keep competing with Cake in the IAHF as
definitely.
Quebec continues our domination of a country league as a province. For no other reason than we must win gold at least once.
Viva la Quebec. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Oh, we're gonna have every Quebecois in the league ready to hop down our throats for that one.
Probably. Uh,
Full
just
langage, full pays.
FYI, I studied Spanish, not French. So obviously I picked the wrong Romance language.
I was gonna say how many. I wonder how many Spaniards and Mexicans we actually have in the league. Like how many people who primarily speak Spanish? Is there a word for that? Like in English, you would call someone like an anglophone. In French, it would be a francophone. What would it be in Spanish?
I think it's no. I think Portuguese is lusophone, but I cannot quite remember what it is for Spanish. But anyways, that's
The
neither here nor
smartest
there.
people with the best, most laser focus here on the Blizzard
Yes.
Buzz podcast.
Welcome to 88 or welcome to ADD the podcast, folks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you also diagnosed professionally, or do I get to get you that hat that says like undiagnosed, but we're pretty sure?
I'm diagnosed professionally.
Oh,
in
you
the
and me
middle.
both. All right, so we've had doctors tell us that our show is going to be terrible. So buckle up. This is episode 1.
Oh, just wait, it'll get worse.
Yeah, we haven't even added a third person yet.
Yeah. Anyways, before we get demonetized for going off topic too much. Yes, grading team, we hear you.
Gwen, please, please, we need the money.
Yeah.
I need the money. Ara doesn't need the money. I need the money.
Okay, come on. Anyways, getting back, where was I with this? Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to being part of Quebec, and it's going to be fun to see how we perform now, and hopefully, make a better legacy than whatever independent Russia left behind. And I'm looking forward to working under you and Gwen.
Yeah, remind me sometime. I'll have to give you the rundown on the story of Russia, because it is actually quite interesting. That we might have some ghosts that we need to appease.
Exercise.
Yeah. No, it was nuts when I was hearing Gwen talk about it. Like our new little Fed has it has some lore behind it.
Oh,
Yeah, not like SHL drama or things like no, like actual lore. It's very exciting.
oh, it does sound
Let me
fun.
see. Now, I know you had a topic of your own as well that you came up with. It was just
Oh,
before I jumped off to talk about the game not being slowed down.
oh,
Hey guys, no one fast forwarded through our favorite game. Woo! Pay attention to us.
that. Oh, damn it! Well, sorry, that's the only slur you'll or curse you'll hear on that tonight. I completely forgot what it was. In all honesty, let me. Oh, right, fantasy.
Oh
I
yes.
found it. Let me switch backgrounds here. I think I can pull this up. Hold on.
Wow, you're just gonna dox Hiff like that, eh? Hey guys, look at this veteran of the league, and now look at Ara just completely whipping his behind.
So,
I'm trying so hard right now. I'd better get a promotion out of this.
oh, you definitely will. Sorry for the stream or the issues with the layout, folks. We're still getting used to the software, so we'll fix it as time goes on. But more or less, as you can see, Spartan Gibbles is in the lead with one right now. Or, God, I'm sorry, folks.
No, you caught yourself.
Yeah, just fumbling with the layout here. Anyways,
Listen,
play
once the
around.
recording is done, we're both just going to swear for like a good 30, 40 seconds just to get it out of our systems.
Yeah. So, anyways, Spartan Gibbles is in first place with a score of 1,851 and somehow managed a second place score behind him with, let me pull this up on the side here. Give me 1 second here. Damn it.
we're 2 for 2. I'm becoming the or you're
Okay.
becoming the co-host.
So right now he is about 10 they are about 10 points ahead of me with a score of 1,851, whereas I'm sitting at 1,841.30. And I do not know, for the love of Bahamut, what is going on here with this. Because it's like, as I said earlier, I picked these at random. So I don't know. And then somehow
we
Jumbo.
really ought to reach out to Spartan Kibbles as well.
Yeah.
Get. Are they them?
I'm actually
Do
not
you know?
sure.
Okay,
I
because I heard you
just
correct there, so I'm like, okay.
I just did it so as not to assume.
Yeah. Okay.
But as you can see, for me, I was honestly thinking it would be Lim, Hat, or HFFO or Jumbo Bone leading the pack, but
Yeah, I was going to say Jumbo is a massive nerd. Like just like a complete nerd. Like what a loser.
Yep.
That's also not that's not an insult. That's not starting rumors. Yeah, I share a locker room, so
It's all good.
I love this podcast. We can say whatever we want.
But
Hiff is a war criminal.
God,
Don't do
just
it. Don't do it.
don't do that on the podcast, please. I don't want to have to edit that out. Um,
In D&D, in D&D.
oh,
He,
God.
he plays the Republic.
Okay,
Of course he.
take your Ritalin for the love of God. Um, anyways,
Wow, we're doing well. We're at 35. We're at 36
yeah.
minutes. We're going to get so much money for this as long as we get any from it.
If you can stay on track for a little bit.
Hey, well, I'm not the one who's dropping unthinkable profanities. Really, I'm very disappointed.
Okay, stay on track. Otherwise, we have to re-record this. Um, like to see what
We
you
can,
did.
if you'd like, we can shift conversation to start talking about some of the leaders
We
in the
probably
SHL.
should. Well, I think given this is a Blizzard-oriented podcast, why don't we talk about some of the TPE leaders for Edmonton first, and then we'll switch gears to our respective J teams if that works for you.
That's not a bad idea at all. Let's go for it. Let's see.
Let me go ahead and pull up the Edmonton page.
Oh, imagine not having the page open. So extremely disappointed in you. It's
I
under
feel
it's under advanced stats, is it, or is it under ratings? Oh, it's under ratings. Okay, I knew that because I already had it pulled up, and I'm not doing the exact same thing right now.
oh, freaking portal. Oh, did I tell you about that today? So,
Is there lore behind your
oh yeah,
struggles
there's
with
a
Portal?
digression which Cake and you had a wonderful laugh at today. Um, so the long and
Oh,
short
it's
of it
that.
is, oh yeah, I go to do my weekly, or I go into the portal last night, as is my wont. Um, pull up to see, or pull it up, trying to see what PTs are left. I see the weekly training and activity check buttons have not been completed yet. I'm like, oh, did I not do those? So do that, gets it done, fine. Wake up and about 4 or about 2 this morning, getting ready for work, and go back and see that the weekly training and AC are done. Okay, fine. Come back about 3 hours later when I'm in a lull on my job site, and I happen to take a look at the TPE record, and I see 2 activity checks and 2 weekly trainings there for a total of 14 TPE, and that's 7 more than I should have. And I'm sitting at it going, oh my God, I am a colossal idiot. So thankfully managed to get that undone, but turns out what it was there was an, I would imagine, a glitch within the portal that it needed to be reset. So that was fun. That was fun temporarily jumping to the top of the title leaderboard on TPE earned only to lose
Yeah,
it.
just
And
seeing the absolutely ridiculous number
yeah,
that you gained, and then of course
yeah.
waking up to see the -7 and just mocking you as hard as we could. I'm trying
Yeah.
so hard not to swear.
Oh yeah.
It was
Apparently,
great. There was a lot of swearing in the in the
oh,
locker room.
anyways, let me get this. Long story short, kids, always check to make sure the portal is not glitching out on you before you apply your weekly training, because I lost about $1 million, but thankfully I was able to get that back.
I know I did. What was it? It's okay. I get notifications from Gwen and such all the time. Where I tend to ping people in my posts. I know I do it with my chirpers. Is every chirper is usually something exceedingly dumb that I'll say. Sometimes it's like genuine, just I just wish people to have a good day. But other times, I'll just say something just mind-bogglingly stupid. And then the second one is usually just me going, "Who am I going to bother today?" And then I'll ping some user or other. The problem with that is that I tend to get conversations going where a bunch of people start pinging other people. And Gwen has told me, you need to stop doing that because I'm having so much trouble not awarding multiple instances of TPE to all these posters. I know she's come this close to doubling my TPE on I think it was on the Halloween one because I pinged Muford and said I was stealing his armor because he plays Solera Vestora. I don't know. I think I would wear the Praise the Sun armor pretty well.
I think you would.
You know, it's nice and blocky, so like it, you know, you can't see my awful physique underneath it.
Okay, let me see if I can find this. Okay, why are you doing this? I'm sorry, folks. I'm still getting used to StreamYard here, so just bear with me for one moment.
Let me see here. So while she's tackling that, I'm going to talk about some of the people in Edmonton.
Can you see the? Can you see the portal screen now?
Yes. Oh, that's excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So much better. Okay.
Okay. So more or less if you want to walk us through here, we can, since you are more familiar with the team.
Now, I do believe these are our. This has everybody mixed in together, right?
Yes.
This is our. Yeah. These are our prospects and our players. It's so weird seeing everyone's actual player names when I'm so used to seeing their usernames instead.
They're odd. God.
All right, so I want to first speak about the by far most important player on the team, like literally just the most important one. Everything would fall apart without them, and that is Digi. Digi is the coolest person. They're in the war room. They're just fantastic. Literally everyone that I've ever followed up on after Digi has scouted someone has said, no, Digi is just the best person ever. And I know that they have plans on getting a Blizzard tattoo, which is just going to be the coolest thing ever. It's so cool, in fact, that I really, really want to say my first official swear because of just how amazing they are. Can I do it, Ara? It'll be a soft one.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so for all of our parents listening at home, egg, that's you. Cover your kids' ears. Okay, Digi is cool as hell, is what he is. He's awesome. And without him, the entire team would just collapse into a black hole. So for that reason, Digi is trapped forever. We will never ever let him go.
Out there for that one. That was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you not gonna bleep yourself?
Well, I would say, but
I don't want your promotion anymore. You just go away. Being mean.
Nah, but anyways,
this is no longer a stream. This is now an appeal to HO. Please execute Ara from orbit.
Anyways, jokes aside, I'm not angry with Caliph. Getting back,
I'm angry with Caliph. He never does enough.
God for freaking
speaking of other people, of course, we have Gwendolyn. She's there. You know, heard she does a thing or two. You know, it's not like I work with her or anything. It's, you know, I'm not like her friend. So, you know, it's just kind of there. Habs fan from Ontario. Honestly, I think the name speaks for itself. What a miserable, sad, cold existence. I bet he's awful and sad and alone. We have Cake. If you want something nice said about you, hit me up for the next media. We have Blix. Blix is awesome. I love Blix, right? Blix, just the best. Same with Juke, right? Actually, I have the unique pleasure of having scouted Juke, both in the Jays and again for Edmonton. And let me tell you, Juke is the easiest guy to ever scout because Juke knows the correct answer to everything. Literally everything. Juke is like, it's... I'm going to do it. I swear to God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring up Fallout again. It's like talking to Zax in Fallout 2. You realize that this is not a person on the other end of the mic. This is
This
a
oh,
hyper intelligent supercomputer that literally does know the exact correct answer to everything that you ask it. Juke is terrifying, and I cannot wait to see what they what they start doing
well,
when they lock in for Edmonton Blizzard.
and to add on that and to steer us away from my co-host for a moment, now that I'm no longer dying,
I
God, frick,
didn't even
um,
say anything. You can't blame me for that one.
okay, for God's sakes, you're causing me crack up here. Anyways, getting back to Juke, I have not had the pleasure of interacting with them much, but throughout the lead up to the S79 draft, I remember watching them consistently be underrated by certain other media outlets. Um, and having seen the lead up to that draft and seeing them rise slowly up the rankings, and I'll be honest, having seen the sheets for the S79 SHL draft when we were getting ready to go live for that stream, it brought me no end of joy to see Juke go number one. He is that great of a player. And in all honesty, he is going to be an asset to Edmonton when he finally gets called up. And Juke, if you're listening, I didn't say this earlier when I should have, but congrats, buddy. You deserve to go number one. And I look forward to seeing what you do for us in the seasons ahead. And
Yeah, and
anyway,
if you're not
while
listening, Juke, we're still getting paid, so no hard feelings.
he's going to get
That said, if we ever start selling merch, you'd better start showing up, buddy. We're teammates now, so you have an obligation, and we are
oh
teammates. We're never trading you ever. You're going to be here till you die, right?
no, we're going to be trading Caleb instead. So
There are no other teams that would take me. I am a nuclear bomb in any locker room. You put me in, I just start fights.
we could always send you to Nola. Um, anyways, irreverence aside, I did have a few things to say about HFFO, Blix, and obviously Cake and Gwen.
Hey,
Starting
don't worry,
off,
I'll cover Cristoforo Rock Montepiano when I get my
oh, for
chance.
God's sakes. Um, God, he's going to make me do it before the end of this podcast, folks.
You can tell it gets fancy when the accent comes out. I'm in trouble.
Is the accent that? Never mind. Um,
It bleeds in when you get mad at me.
yeah, that old southern twang. Um,
I know I'm okay until you hit me with a bless your heart, and that's when I have to leave. I just have to run away. It doesn't
oh,
matter where we are
bless
in the
your friggin'
podcast.
heart, Caleb.
No.
Okay. Anyways, before I lose it again, where was I with this? Blix.
Flicks. Yes.
Okay, so as a lot of y'all remember, during the last season, there was that whole controversy with Blix over the purported AI generation. I don't know if he actually did or not, but initially had not quite been a fan of him because of that. And you can ask Caliph, you can ask Cake, you can ask HFFO. I'm a big writer. I love to write. It's a passion of mine. I'm actually planning on publishing some works I'm writing right now later on. But that really torqued me off at the time. But after our little spat in the SHL Discord, got to talking with him. Great guy, funny, and great earner too. And in all honesty, I'm not much of a stats person, but in the locker room, Blix is just amazing. And he's become a fast friend, and I really hope he's got a great season with whatever team he's on now and the coming seasons for Edmonton. All right, now we get to this Joker here. Habs. HFFO, simply put, is a wonderful GM, and getting to meet and talk with him throughout the course of the seasons leading up into Edmonton, or God, sorry, simply put,
You've gotten good at
while
catching yourself there. Yeah.
while God bless you, friggin' heart. um,
Listen, y'all, we've got a job to do. So.
oh my god.
It's like poking a bear at a petting zoo. I can't stop. All right, listen, I will give you 2 minutes of peace. I'm setting the timer right now. I don't do this very often. So
Good God, Hella.
56, 55,
God damn.
54.
Jesus. Okay, before he presses my buttons again, HFFO, cake, and egg, I would really say, are the driving core and heart of the Edmonton team. While we are in the process of rebuilding, I think with our two GMs, we've got competitive drive, spirit, and I think between the two of them, they have the vision to take Edmonton and really turn it into a powerhouse in the coming seasons, especially if we end up getting the same quality recruits and prospects we got this past season, such as Yeti, such as especially Juke, and I'm drawing a blank
If you
on the
don't
other
say
one.
Ara right now, oh no, I promised. Okay,
Oh,
I'll give you 6 more seconds.
oh, for God's sakes. Anyways, yes, and obviously, Cake, I cannot praise enough. Fantastic rookie of the year material right there, and also a dear friend. But honestly, between what I've seen over this past season and jumping over into 1 second, jumping over into her performance thus far this year, or sorry, this season, it's been phenomenal. Let me find this here. Um, as of today, she leads the team with 70 points, edging out even our illustrious GM HFFO. I mean, that for a rookie season is incredible. And she just keeps going. I really think that come awards time, and to quote another podcaster, this is an aura guarantee. I think it would be, or there's a very strong case for her to be rookie of the year. Okay, well, I think it's back. We've got 7 minutes left here, and thanks to a certain co-host of mine tormenting me, I think we have just enough time to move into questions.
That's true. Your time is up. I hope it was a restful break. But however, also we're not leaving until I talk about egg,
Go ahead.
because I have a
Just
compliment clause in my contract. I suggest that all of you add some of those as well.
just remember
Something about GMs.
just remember we've got 6 minutes left before we have to
Exactly.
close up.
When you tell them that they're fantastic human beings, so often they just try to run away from you. And what's nice about my contract is he can't do that. He has to accept the compliment, which is frankly the most wonderful thing of them all. He came in like an absolute Chad when I needed him most, when I was starting to head up the department. And he's just generally been a fantastic person. Like, very, very aware, very open, has way, way more knowledge than he lets on. If you ever heard of what is it? The one trope from TV tropes. What is it? Crouching moron, hidden badass.
Yeah,
That's basically egg to a T, where he will say the most unhinged and deranged nonsense in the LR. But then, like, trade talks will start, or we'll start thinking, like, okay, who do we want to draft? And suddenly he's all business. And he just casually just brings up, yeah, I've got like entire spreadsheets full of loads and loads of information that updates every however so often. Impressed as can possibly be with Hig.
I
Honestly, one of the most underrated users. which is hilarious given how much history the guy has. you know, but yeah, I'm not sure if you can count as underrated when you have a career and just backup as illustrious as he does. But I'm still going to call him that because it's our show and we can do whatever we want. I mean, come on, I swore a little while ago. So liberating. I can't wait to do that more. You had you had questions, eh?
We've got a couple. We
Mhm.
may not have time to get through all of them. First one is from Slicer User, from our illustrious friend from Chicago. Yeah, or they ask, can you give us a rundown for your thoughts for the Edmonton's future, or for Edmonton's future and their prospect pool? How was / is the J for you guys, and do you want to move to the SHL quickly, or are you content with the 4 season span? For me, I think Edmonton has a bright future, especially, and this is something I alluded to earlier. Caliph, also, please keep an eye on the time too.
Oh yeah, I got you.
I think they have a bright future, especially with them having picked up Juke and Yeti, as well as my goofus of a co-host here. And that's saying nothing of the users such as Gwen, Cake, and so on that they already have it, and Digi, especially Digi, as well as our GMs too. So
yeah, no, I'll be more direct than you. We have too much talent on our team. That salary cap is so oppressive, and all of us are going to max earn. Like literally all of us. All of the names that you just mentioned are all going to 2K or very close to it. Everyone is going to hit the max earning bracket. We're in a position where we need to do team organization to account for that. Our locker room is so phenomenally powerful that we literally cannot contain it. That trade that went down a little while ago, yeah, that's why we did that. we are going to go broke because we have too much dedicated, successful, intelligent, and hardworking talent on our team. That's how bright the future of Edmonton is. Yeah, it's going to be a firestorm when our people start maturing. So GMs, if you're listening, pay attention. We're going to be calling for trades, and our people are the best that there is.
and I would not be surprised if HFFO has a few tricks up his sleeve for this upcoming draft.
Oh, the guy always does.
As for how was the / is the J, we got about a little under 2 minutes here.
Yeah, we got about 90 seconds left, so gun it.
I personally, it's a mixed bag for me. I definitely enjoy playing for San Diego. I enjoy the locker room. I'll be honest, I love my team. Schwartz is great. Corey, for as much of a goofball as he can be, is phenomenal. Sharing the 2 locker rooms with Yeti is amazing. And of course, God, what's his name?
What an unhinged gentleman. I love Yeti.
Unjust Television and Sam Volta are great too. But with that being said, I also kind of do hope to move up to the SHL quickly at some point. Mm-hmm. What about you, Caliph?
I've got to do my 4 years or Cake will kill me. Like straight up bombarded from orbit, Australian death squad sent to my door. If I call up and I leave the team, she will ensure that it is the last decision that I ever make.
Probably. Well,
yeah, I'm not allowed to leave.
Well,
and also if I left Popel, then I would just be devastated because he's such a bro. The guy actually, I talked to him like outside of the SHL, like outside of Discord. The two of us chat over Facebook. Absolutely phenomenal guy. Just one of the best users that I know. Super underrated as well. The fact that I got the underrated nom and he didn't is frankly a lie. We have 10 seconds left. What do we want to tell the people?
Well, y'all stay wonderful out there. Have a good night. Have a good morning. And we'll see you next time on Blizzard Buzz. Farewell.
Bless all your hearts.